Thank you so much. And just as a footnote, this was my precinct uh, back when I was a lieutenant. And today you take out a camera and take a picture of this community and people will pose. Back then you take out a camera, someone would grab it and run down the block. So this area has changed a lot. It is one of our most transformative communities with the level of new housing, the level of new restaurants, great eateries, the level of diversity, the level of growth that's here. It is amazing when I look at how well this community has continued to transform. And throughout the years, the only common denominator in this community is that it is a place where toxic waste has been a problem and continue to be a problem. It is a place where the air quality is challenged. It is a place where we are putting a great deal of resources to clean up the waterway. And it's a place where all of us had great aspirations and hopes when this bridge continued to rise in the backdrop of the old structure being demolished and brought down. That is why we're here as a community to state the notice that this big bridge would be blown up sent trauma throughout our community and trauma throughout this community. I want to thank the community board district manager, Mr. Esposito, who first put this on everyone's radar to state that the community at large and the local electeds should not find out from reading in the tabloids any new methods that is used that could potentially damage the climate cleanup that we have attempted to do in this community and have worked so hard to accomplish. I have been in conversation with the governor's office yesterday and this morning. They stated that there will be a briefing on how this dismantling of this structure would take place that would not impact the community at large. I'm happy to hear that, but that briefing should also be part of what we do prior to making announcements of that magnitude. Just as we continue to build the physical infrastructure of New York City, we must build a communication infrastructure where the residents and leaders and electeds are aware of the methodologies that are used to build our infrastructure. We saw the fiasco at LaGuardia Airport where one has to come 2 hours early just to check in. We don't want to continue to see the lack of communication that's coming from on the state level. And that is our call today to the governor's office. Give us a clear understanding of the impact of using any form of implosion or explosion. When you looked at the draft EIS statement, it clearly pointed out that there will not be any form of explosion used. So this is news to all of us, and it should not be news that we receive through the daily news or the daily tabloids. It should be news we receive from governmental officials to inform and not send shock and awe to the residents of this community that we're going to use some form of detonation or explosion or blow up to dismantle a bridge. We want to save the waterways. We want to save the air quality in this community. We don't want to take the giant steps forward that we have taken just to take 3 steps back. And the only way we can make that determination is to see the EIS study and make a clear determination on the methods that we're going to use, the manner in which is going to be used to ensure that we do not do anything that's going to harm the air quality here. Words have been stated that this is the fastest way to do it. Expeditious action should never trump public safety and health quality. That should never happen. If we have to take an extra 3 or 4 months to get it right, to do it right, to continue to ensure that the air quality is right, then let's take the time to make sure. We are not on a fast track. we are on the right track to ensure that we continue to move this community in the right direction. They have suffered enough over air quality, they have suffered enough over water quality, they have suffered enough over the quality of life in this community, and we don't want it to take a step back. I want to now bring on the chair of the community board, and I want to again thank him for really keeping his eye and ears to the pulse of this project, which is an excellent project, and reaching out and letting us know about the decision to use some form of detonation to dismantle this bridge. Community Board Chair, Mr. Esposito. District Manager, Mr. Esposito.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Borough President, and thank you for your 911 response to the needs of the Greenpoint Williamsburg community. I'm born and raised in this community. In the foreground was the site of the former Van Indestein fat rendering plant. To the north, the mobile oil spill. This community has been strewn with past environmental issues, and for the state's highest official to make imprudent remarks about how you're going to blow up a bridge in our community is just mind-boggling. I sit on the area board for the Kosciuszko Bridge. I've sat on that board for the past 5 years. There was no mention of implosion, explosion, or any other form of dynamiting the structure. It's just totally irresponsible to make a statement like that before meeting with the SAC board or before having conversations with any elected official in this district. And once again, I thank the Borough President for getting the state to come to the table and to talk with us and to have an open discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Again, that's the District Manager for Community Board, the Community Board in this area. Also joining us is Tommy Torres, the District Leader for this community. Tommy?
Thank you. I'd like to thank our Borough President for making this a concern, a major concern for his office and for all Brooklynites, especially, of course, those residents of Greenpoint and Williamsburg. I'm the proud district leader representing the entire portion of Williamsburg and parts of Greenpoint. I'm also an assistant principal at our local high school here, Grand Street campus. And it's a concern. It's a concern for our families and for our kids. I'm joined with our local community groups like OUTRAGE, our community board members. In the many meetings that we had prior to this construction happening, there was no mention, and I was just talking to Lori from OUTRAGE, no mention of any type of implosion, explosion, whatever, in regards to the construction and the construction of our new Kosciuszko Bridge, which is a great thing for our community. We welcome that. We look forward to the opening of our bridge, but we got to make sure that the air quality here, the quality for our communities is, again, like the Borough President said, our first concern and our major concern. We have a Greenpoint Little League here. I'm also the commissioner of the local Little League in the neighborhood. Greenpoint Little League, which sits just a few feet away from this bridge. These are where our kids are playing. So making sure that the air quality is there for us, for our kids, is so important. So I want to thank our Borough President, and again, this event wouldn't happen, this meeting wouldn't happen without our district manager and our community board. So again, Jerry Esposito, thank you for putting us together today.
Hello. You're always with the fight. Always with the fight.
Timing could not have been more perfect. We fought together in the park here in this community, and now joining us in this fight to make sure that the quality of air and water is protected. We're joined here by our great Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank our Borough President for leading us so beautifully and bringing us together on this cause. Last time I saw him, we were camped out at a park and sleeping all night trying to get the park sold to the community. And we finally achieved that. And I'm sure we're going to be successful with the Kosciuszko Bridge too. For years, we've known that the Kosciuszko Bridge is one of the worst, not in New York City, not New York State, but the entire country in terms of delays. It's well over 100 years old. It was breaking down. And along with many others, I fought to secure $670 million in federal funds to repair and rebuild the bridge. That's 85% of the funding for this project has come from the federal government, so that we could construct a bridge that the community needs, connecting Brooklyn and Queens with park lanes, with parks, with pedestrian lanes, but it needs to be constructed in the right way. Now we know that phase one, the building of the new span, is nearing completion, which is great. When it's done, traffic will see an immediate improvement, and pedestrian and cyclists will be able to cross safely between Brooklyn and Queens. There'll also be a park around that area. And this has been a community that has been suffering from environmental hardship, poor air quality, water pollution. One of the first things that I did when I came here to Brooklyn to represent it years ago was close the Greenpoint incinerator. I called for a federal hearing, and even before the hearing they closed it down because there were so many violations. So I stand today with the community and share their concerns about the impact of a bridge implosion. You all have been living with this construction and working hard to ensure that the process is as painless as possible. I think if a significant decision is being made about an explosion, the community should be consulted first so that they understand the potential environmental ramifications, the impact on the neighborhood, on traffic and small business. And we need to know what other alternatives were considered. I did speak with the New York State Department of Transportation and requested that they have a community meeting with the leaders, with the borough president, with the community, with everyone, with me, with everyone, and to really help us understand the meaning of what they are trying to do. Now, the Department of Transportation has told me that it is a series of small surgical explosions. And it's not like one of these huge explosions where you see all this smoke. And I said, well, if that's what it is, come and show some tapes of it. Come and show what it means. And come and talk to the community and explain to us exactly what is happening. They say that this is a good, safe process, but we need to hear about it, we need to understand it, we need to see the material on it, and I am joining the community in asking the New York State Department of Transportation to come and meet with us, explain what is happening. I must tell you that it's important to get it finished, and I understand the need to get it finished, but we need to do it in an environmentally safe process. This may be an environmentally safe process, I don't know. But come and tell us about it, show us it, show us the EPA studies, show us what it has meant in other localities, and what are the other alternatives that can be explored. So this is a community that gets things done. I just left the Swinging 60s Senior Center, where we're in negotiations to buy that center for St. Nick's community, to make sure that that's there for the community for many generations to come. We just got 28 acres for a beautiful park here on the water that we're going to be developing, and we are working on the L train, which connects Brooklyn and Manhattan, which was terribly destroyed with Hurricane Sandy. We have over $1 billion in federal funds slated to upgrade that L train to the 21st century. So I'm here supporting the community, asking questions, and I'm told that we will have a town hall, that we will have a New York State Department meeting here in the community to explain the alternatives, to explain why we consider this a better alternative, to explain the environmental impact and other impacts on the community. Again, I thank the Borough President very much for organizing this and for his work on all of these other projects we're working on together. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank Thank you so much, Congresswoman. Thank you so much. And the last speaker is, we have several community environmental organizations that are extremely concerned and have played a major role in this, and one of them is OUTRAGE, and Eric from OUTRAGE will speak on their behalf. Laura? Okay, doesn't look like Eric.
Hi, my name is Laura Hoffman. I'm a steering committee member of OUTRAGE, that's Organizations United for Trash Reduction and Garbage Equity. OUTRAGE has had a seat on the Kosciuszko Bridge Stakeholders Advisory Group for the past 13 years and have attended many meetings there. Up until now, we've enjoyed a pretty open relationship with the New York State Department of Transportation and with the consultants. So it's it was pretty stunning to watch the governor talk about implosion, and we had never heard anything about that step. And it's pretty damaging to what was a really good working relationship. So I'm hoping that I hope at the state level they're going to rectify that and bring the community to the table and discuss the issue and answer a lot of questions. For instance, I have concerns about what implosion is going to mean to the stability of the new bridge. What's it going to mean to the surrounding waste transfer stations that are already causing a lot of environmental harm and air pollution? So we have many questions, and after working with the New York State Department of Transportation for so long, we deserve to be informed properly and to have all of our questions answered through a good process. And I want to thank Mr. Esposito, the Borough President's office, Congressman Maloney, and everybody who really brought this out in the open so quickly, because it's very important. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's just so important to note that there was a stakeholders body. You heard both members from OUTRAGE as well as the district manager both talk about the bridge that was built to ensure communications was there. We cannot blow up that bridge without seeing that we're damaging the relationships and the communication that took place here on the ground. That's why we're here. There's no reason, if there's a pre-existing body to discuss the dismantling, the building, and all of the environmental issues, that same body was not communicated with when the determination was made that went outside the 2007 draft EIS that clearly indicated that there will be no explosion used to demolish the bridge. When that course of action changed, the communication should have been made to ensure that those who were part of the process should have also been informed. That is the message that we're sending today. It's time to take your hand off the switch, sit down and speak with the stakeholders and inform them what is the process moving forward. We'll entertain any questions at this time. Thank you. I mean, we did.
Yes, well, at what date did you hear this governor's statement and first understand that there was going to be explosion? When did that happen?
The information came to my office attention when Mr. Esposito, the community board chair, what do I keep calling district manager? Am I indicating that? The community board district manager, when he informed our office, and we started receiving calls after hearing the governor's statement. So this was 2 days ago that it got on our radar on Wednesday. Okay, thank you very much. Right.
They don't even want me to know.
Right.